No one could have imagined the horror that was hiding just steps away from a seemingly ordinary home. A daughter, worried and anxious, would soon uncover a truth so shocking it would shake her world forever. Martha Callahan was a quiet woman in her early 50s, living a life that seemed ordinary to the outside world. But behind closed doors, the life she led was not as peaceful as it appeared. Her daughter, Kim, a devoted and caring woman, had noticed changes in her mother over the past few months. Calls went unanswered, doors were locked, and then, one morning, she realized that something was terribly wrong. By the time the police were contacted, Martha had already vanished. And little did Kim know, the danger was closer than she could ever imagine. It started with small things, missing appointments, strange excuses, and the uneasy feeling that someone was controlling Martha's life, that someone was David Callahan, Martha's live-in companion. David was charming to outsiders, but beneath the surface, he was manipulative and dangerous. Those who knew him well described him as a master of deception, the kind of man who could make you question your own instincts. Kim's worry grew. She'd called, texted, even stopped by unexpectedly, but David always had an explanation, always deflected, and always managed to hide the truth. And then, one fateful day, Martha did not answer. Not her phone, not her door, nothing. Kim knew that something was wrong, but what she didn't know yet was just how dark the reality would be. Behind the closed doors of their home, a tragedy unfolded. David, motivated by secrets, rage, or greed, had taken a life. He thought he could cover it up, hide the evidence, and continue living without consequence. But crime has a way of revealing itself, especially when a loved one refuses to let go. Kim, though frightened, knew she had to act. She contacted the police again, explaining the inconsistencies and strange behavior she had observed. Still, nothing prepared her, or the authorities, for what would be discovered in the days to come. The backyard, once a place of peace, would soon reveal a nightmare that would haunt this family forever. Detectives arrived, their minds racing through possibilities. Missing person reports often lead to uncertainty, dead ends, and frustrating delays. But Kim had something police sometimes overlook: a relentless determination. Officers began canvassing the neighborhood. Neighbors were questioned. Surveillance footage was analyzed. Every small detail mattered, and slowly, a picture began to form. But still, no body had been found. The tension in the house was palpable. Every sound, every shadow seemed to carry a sinister meaning. Days turned into a week. Kim's anxiety grew, and yet she refused to give up hope. She knew deep down that the truth was hidden somewhere, and she was determined to find it. Then came a breakthrough. A tip from a neighbor. A strange mark in the backyard soil. The kind of clue that might seem trivial to some, but for detectives, it was the spark they needed. Officers approached the backyard carefully, their eyes scanning every inch of the ground. Each step was careful, cautious. And then they saw it: disturbed soil, partially hidden under a tarp, evidence of a secret that had been buried too deep. Kim, standing at a distance, could hardly breathe. Every second felt like an eternity. And as the detectives began to uncover what lay beneath, the gravity of the situation became terrifyingly real. This was no ordinary missing person case. This was a confrontation with evil, hidden in plain sight, waiting for justice to arrive. Finally, the truth could no longer be hidden. What lay beneath the surface was the unthinkable. The daughter, Kim, was confronted with the unimaginable, a loss so profound that it could never be erased. The officers worked methodically, documenting the scene, collecting evidence, and piecing together the story of the final moments of Martha's life. And yet, through all the horror, one thing stood out: Kim's unwavering courage. Her persistence, her refusal to accept answers that felt wrong, had led to this discovery. In the end, justice would be served, but the scars remained. For Kim, and for everyone who witnessed this tragedy, it was a chilling reminder. Never ignore warning signs, trust your instincts, and know that sometimes the darkest horrors are closer than we think. This is a story of loss, fear, and courage, a story of a daughter who faced the unthinkable, and a story that reminds us all, even in darkness, the truth will find a way to the light.